When you first start learning how to fly a plane, one of the first things you'll do is fly a VFR circuit, and that's what we're going to be doing today in the Cessna 152. So if you come into the cockpit here, you can see I haven't got it started up or anything yet, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. So put that alternator on, fuel valve, set that to open, prime the engine, set the mixture to 100%, put the throttle in a bit, make sure the parking brake is set, and then we can start our engine. Turn on the battery first, and then we can start our engine. So here we go, we now have our plane fully started. So, I'm here at London Stansted, and we're going to be doing some VFR circuits today. So, I'm going to turn on all the lights quickly. Okay, now we can begin our taxi. So today we're going to be doing some VFR circuits. I'm going to explain to you how you can do a VFR circuit as you would in the real world, but obviously in the flight simulator. Okay, so here we are now coming up to the runway, so we're going to turn on to here. Just line ourselves up quickly before we have a look at the diagram. So, you can find this diagram really easy. You can just go to Google and you can just type in VFR circuit, and then you can get an image like this. So, let's imagine this is our runway here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do our upwind leg. So each of these are called legs. So we're going to do our upwind leg, where we're going to begin our climb. Then we're going to do the crosswind leg, so we're going to have a crosswind. And then we're going to have our downwind leg, where we're going to be parallel to the runway. Then we're going to turn on our base leg, where we're going to start our descent. And then we're going to go on short final, and we're going to come into land. And that is basically the simple VFR circuit. So let's go back into the flight simulator, and we are going to begin our VFR circuit. But before we do, we're going to have a look at our altitude here. So, as you can see, we are just above 300 feet here on the runway. There's a slight elevation, but we want to climb to about 500 feet in the air for our upwind leg. So we're going to climb to about 8,000 feet on our upwind leg. So you can start doing that now. We're going to take off and we're going to climb to 800 feet, and then we're going to begin our crosswind leg. Okay, here we go, we are now in the air. I'm going to bring up the flaps. And now we can climb to 800 feet. We're going to stay on the runway heading here, so that we don't go off course or anything. We're going to stay at heading about 230. We're using this down here, this heading compass, to find our heading. And once we get to 800, we are going to actually stay at 800 for a minute, so that we can actually go past the end of the runway, because it's quite a long runway for our little Cessna. There's no way. Normally we wouldn't do this, but it's just because we've got such a long runway. Okay, and now we're going to begin our crosswind. So we're going to turn 90 degrees. You can see on our heading compass here, there's a little arrow there. That means that when that is on our runway heading, we're now 90 degrees from the runway, and we can check that by looking out the window. You can see we're roughly 90 degrees from the runway. Now we're going to continue our climb to 1,000 feet in the air, which will be just above 300 there. Remember that we had a slight runway elevation. Now we're at that. We're now going to turn it another 90 degrees. So this runway heading of 130, it's going to be at this little triangle here. Like that. I'm going to try and maintain, I'm going to say 1,300 feet, just because it's a lot easier. And as you can see, we are now parallel to the runway, so we are on our downwind leg. So we will currently have a tailwind. So that means the wind will be going this way, so it will kind of pushing us along. We want to maintain our heading as we're doing this. And we're going to stay on this downwind leg for quite a while. It's the longest leg of it. And basically we want to wait until the runway is out of our sight from this window. And then we're going to turn onto our base leg. We're going to try and maintain a speed about 100 knots. That's kind of normal speed for circuits, about 80 to 100 knots is the kind of normal speed. So we're going to try and maintain that. You can see the runway is nearly out of sight. So we're just going to wait. And now the runway is out of sight. So we're now going to turn another 90 degrees. Again, using this, we're going to make sure that our runway heading is on this now, this little arrow now. Here we go. And we are going to continue our descent. As you can see, there's quite a short base leg now. Okay, I actually messed that up. I thought that was the runway, but that's actually just the taxiway. We're going to forget that happened. And now we're going to turn onto our final. We're going to pull the throttle all the way back, because we're going quite fast here. And now we are on final. So here we have two options. We can either do a touch and go, where we touch down and then take off again, do another circuit. But for now, I'm going to do a full stop. Because it's just a demonstration. So we're going to come down here. Hopefully try and get a smooth landing. Okay, that wasn't too bad. And now we can bring our plane to a stop. And we're going to try and turn off there. Okay, never mind. We're just going to turn onto the grass. I'm going to taxi off here. And there you go. We've now completed our first VFR circuit. You can do this on things like vatsim as well, if you want to. I would recommend practicing it first though, like this, just offline, before you start going on to vatsim and doing it. If you want to see a video of me doing a circuit on vatsim, or a few circuits on vatsim, then please let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. If you want to watch another video of my tutorials about vatsim, or flying in general, then you can click on this video here. I highly recommend it to you. But for now, thank you for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.